joys of getting ready at 2 a.m. in the morning. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That So Letitia. And to all of my new viewers, supporters, and subscribers, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy the content. And to all of my returning viewers, supporters, and subscribers, welcome back, guys. As always, it is a pleasure to see you. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So for today's video, you guys are getting ready for work with me. Extra tired edition. My day starts at 2 a.m. when everybody is still asleep, when the crust is barely out of your eyes, when you are not properly coherent. I am up getting ready for work. And I tend to watch a lot of content creators that kind of do their day in the life of get ready for work with me, their 5 to 9 before their 9 to 5. I envy that type of material because that could never be me. I am startled awake because more times than a few, I'm already up throughout the middle of the night, hot flashes, things of that nature. If you know, you know. So by the time my alarm does go off at 2, I'm over it. So I don't have time to do all of the prettiness. I wish I did. Like I said, I envy people that do. I'm just not one of those. When I had a proper 9 to 5, yes, I did all of the things when it came time to get ready for work. 2 to 1, or I should say 4 to 1, no thank you, that's no longer my ministry. So this is how I get ready for work at 2 a.m. Mind you, it's still dark in my house. If you have not heard the phrase, look like you got ready in the dark, here we go. So no matter the day, no matter the occasion, no matter the time of day, I always start out with a primer. Getting ready for work is no different. This is the One Size Secure the Sweat Primer. So what I tend to do is I just kind of reduce the amount that I use. And I use it strictly in my T-zone area and then also my under eye. Now the reason I use it in my under eye area is because for work, since I sit in front of a computer all day, I wear glasses and I don't want my makeup to lift if I happen to take my glasses off throughout the day. And the primer helps to ensure that my makeup doesn't move as much if I need to take my glasses off. And a light bit of color correcting by Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filter Color Corrector in Papaya. So I don't go to work giving like a full beat, but I do want to show up and look like I did get more than 3 or 4 hours of sleep when I do have to go into the office. I tend to use some of the same products that I would use for a full beat, but I just don't use it as heavy. And then I'm still going to set the color corrector using Fenty Beauty's Instant Retouch Setting Powder in shade Nutmeg. And by this step, literally, I am rethinking my life. I'm rethinking my career. I'm rethinking my finances because I'm saying to myself, why am I up this early? Like, literally, why am I up this early? And normally I like to watch the news as I'm getting ready for work. I know not many people enjoy the news, especially in today's society. But for me, I don't particularly feel ready for the day unless I have watched the news. So at this point, I am probably listening to the news in the background, making my coffee, and literally trying to stay awake. I mean, it's nice and all that I have such a early shift. Like I get off at 1 p.m. So my day at work technically ends when most people are returning from their lunch break. But that does not make the workload any easier. If anything, it tends to be much harder because it is so early in the day. Ugh, I digress. So, because we want to show up for work looking like we got some sleep, looking like we're happy to be there, these are the steps that I take to just kind of fake it till I make it, at least until I've had my first cup of coffee and the cold air of walking outside kind of hits me to wake me up a little bit. So now that we have on the color corrector and our setting powder for the color corrector, we're going to go in with our actual complexion product. So for my work look, I don't necessarily care for wearing like a full-on foundation at work. It's just me. I just don't. So I try to use a skin tint or something that is very equivalent to that. So I tend to use something that is very thin, like almost no makeup there. So what I'm going to use is the Morphe. This is the Hint Skin Tint, and this one is in the shade Hint of Truffle, which is a deep with neutral golden undertones shade. It's literally a skin tint. This is sheer to medium coverage. This is what it looks like. So just going to put this on the back of my hand. And you can apply this in a multitude of ways. You can apply this using your fingers. You could use a brush. You could use a beauty blender. I tend to use a brush. I don't need no mistakes. I have places to be. I can't wash my face and start over, so I use a brush. And it dries down really, really nice, and you really don't even feel that it's on your face. That's what I like. And it dries down super quick, super quick. And for my ready to work look, I'm going to use by Maybelline. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser, and this one is in shade 146.5, 146.5. And we're just going to apply this under the eye. And I love that this concealer is a 12-hour long wear concealer, no creasing. So those of us who have signs of aging, such as wrinkles and creasing, things of that nature, this does not get into those areas and actually make them prominent, but it reduces visibility on them, which is why it's called a age rewinder. So those of us over 40, if you know, you know, especially if you're like me, you have to wake up at 2 a.m. to get ready for work, here you go. And while the concealer is drying down just a little bit, we don't let it dry down that much because it's already pretty much a full coverage concealer, so we don't need it to dry down that much. But in any event, because time is of the essence, and at this point I'm probably sipping my coffee, I'm going to move on to my brows. Keep in mind, this is a ready to work. I don't go in and give them all of me. I give them just enough. So for my brows, I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks Defining Groundwork Neutrals palette. And for my brows, I use the shade Bark, the shade here. I'm going to apply it using my Morphe M165 brush. And this is the time where having microbladed brows are such a blessing, because my brows are pretty much already done. But of course, you know, we want to give them just a little bit more of a polished look, especially if you are wearing any sort of complexion product on top of them. It can fade out your brows. So this will actually bring some awareness back to the fact that I do have them. But these are not my normal kind of sculpted brows. These are very work appropriate, very 2 a.m. appropriate brows. All right, so now that our brows are nice and neat, we're just going to blend out the concealers. And for this, we will use a damp beauty blender. Do any of you guys watch those aesthetically pleasing get ready for work with me content creators also? Oh my gosh. I mean, they have it down to a science. Like, they even have the cutest work-related items, like the keyboards that make the ASMR noises and all of the little desk accessories. Like, oh my gosh. I swear they make working in office look so fun. And then I have to remind myself, like, you know what? Not everybody's in office work experience is as cute as theirs. Mine's, I'm like, I'm gonna get in, get my work done, and then I'm going home. Like, not too much on me. We're not about to stand around the water cooler and chit chat and talk and no, Brett, I don't necessarily care to know how your weekend went. No, Amy, I don't want to see pictures of your babies. Sorry. Yeah, let me get back to my desk. And now we're just going to add a little bit of blush. The blush I'm going to use, this is by One Size, and this is the 3D Blush Trio Cheek Clapper in shade Rich Bitch, because that is the goal. That is the goal. So I don't have to get up at 2 a.m. to get ready for work. Is to become a what? Rich beep. But until then, we will use the blush as our motivation, right? So just using a blush brush to apply it. True story. One day, I was getting ready for work. I was tired as hell, and blush blindness crept up upon me. What do I mean by that? Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder in shade Peach Pie. Let's get into it. So I was getting ready at home like I normally do. It's 2 a.m., right? So I'm trying to be mindful of everybody else that is asleep in the house. I don't have too many lights on. Plus, at that time of the day, my eyes are just not working. They're not working. They're still asleep. So I'm doing my makeup and I get to work. And at work, we have these real, like, funky, just highlights. I can't even say they're like fluorescent. These lights are the devil. Like, showing up to work at like 3 a.m., 3:30, 4 a.m., the light is so bright that oftentimes me and my co-workers, the few of us that show up that early, which is only like 4 of us, everybody is stumbling with their coffee and their laptops in hand, rushing over each other to dim the lights. We keep the lights pretty dim till at least about 7, 8 a.m., right? Like, we still tired. Who decided to cut the lights on full freaking blast? But nevertheless. So I get to work and I go in the bathroom, or I get to work and I go in the restroom. And I, use the restroom or whatever. I stumble out and I'm now washing my hands. And we have the cutest mirrors in our bathrooms at work. Like, those are some full-on beauty mirrors. You can turn them warm, you can turn them cool, you can have it neutral. I mean, those lights give life. This morning gave a little bit too much life. So I'm washing my hands and I happen to look up in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, did I really do this? When I tell you my blush, I look like a damn clown by the cheeks. And there was absolutely nothing I could do. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. I started using some of those super hard hand towels that we have at work to just try and diffuse it. Baby, it was not budging. It was not budging at all. So what did I do? I moseyed myself right on back to my desk, and I pretty much was a recluse for the entire day until I left. And when I did leave, I was like, I have nothing to say to anybody. Goodbye, good day, see y'all tomorrow. And I rushed, I hauled ass out of the door. By the time I got home, my son opened the door and was like, oh, hey, mom. Like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't. I tried. I'm washing my face and I'm going to sleep. And that was exactly what I did. That day, I messed around and found out exactly what blush blindness meant, because prior to that, I had no clue. I mean, I saw, you know, people talk about it and online, but I'm like, what is blush blindness? Like, there can never be too much blush. That day it was. And now I'm just going to set my entire face using a quick dusting of One Size Ultimate Blurring Setting Powder in shade Dark Deep. How do you guys get ready for work? What time do you guys get ready for work? Please tell me I'm not the only one that has to be at work before the rooster crows. If you guys get to sleep in, good on you. I mean, I do prefer my days to be early, but it's just one of those things that I don't think my body will ever accept. Like, girl, why did you do this to us? We could still be in the bed. That's it, that's all, like dusting like that. And a little bit of bronzer, just a little bit. I tend to use a deeper complexion shade for my ready to work look, only because I don't have to contour and do all of the things, because I can brighten around it, which to me is more quicker than actually creating shadows. But I'm still going to apply a little bit of Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer. This is in shade Mahogany. Just a little, not too much. And now for my eyeshadow. This palette here has come in handy for work looks. This is the Truth or Bare palette by Morphe. This palette, oh, love this palette. Using my Morphe M504 brush, I am going to apply this shade here as a transition shade. This one, very simple look. You don't want to be shiny. You want to have something, loose something going on, but obviously not much. Unless that's your deal. I do work with some women and I'm like, you know what, bless it, because you guys come to work, I mean, full beat, but then again, they don't have to be there as early as me. Our shifts kind of trickle in over time. These are the girls that get there about maybe a good 10, 11. So as I'm winding down my day, their day is beginning. They have all the time, or I shouldn't say they have all the time in the world, but their makeup would definitely suggest that they have all the time in the world in the morning to actually comfortably apply all of the things. So now I am going to take this shade here, which is just a little bit deeper, and I'm going to apply this one towards my lid. And like I said, I wear glasses to work, so it's just enough to kind of brighten my face. And then I'm going to apply some black eyeliner. This is a Wet n Wild eyeliner that I promise no matter how many times I sharpen it, it does not get smaller. Love that for me. And I'm just going to apply that to my lower waterline. And moving on to lips, I'm going to first apply the Chestnut Lip Liner by MAC Cosmetics. And because I do a lot of talking, a lot of coffee drinking when I'm at work, I don't like to wear a lip that I have to keep reapplying. Like, I don't have time to keep going to the restroom, checking my makeup, checking my lipstick. So I prefer a matte lipstick, one that has staying power, that doesn't move as much. This is a Lip Bullet by Huda Beauty. This is my favorite shade, Lip Bullet by Huda Beauty. This is in the shade Last Night. And of course, it's a cool tone. All right, guys, so this is the final look. Off camera, I applied some Maybelline Sky High mascara in jet black. This is a ready for work look, so I do not wear lashes, primarily because I get ready at 2 a.m. I don't have time for that. I might have one lash down here, one lash up there. Plus, I sit in front of a computer all day. I wear glasses. But I highly recommend everybody to buy at least one tube of Maybelline Sky High mascara. That stuff is life-changing. Do you hear me? I don't care if you have 1 or 2 sparse lashes. By the time you're done applying that mascara, it's going to look like you have a full set of voluminous, luxurious lashes. Trust me when I tell you, that mascara is a banger. But as I stated, I sit in front of a computer all day. I wear glasses. These are my glasses that I am currently loving for work. This is a vintage pair of Coach glasses. These are actually my real prescriptive glasses. I've had these frames for, I want to say about 12 years. And what I do is I just keep taking them back to my optometrist and having them to update the prescription in them because I love these frames so much. But enough of that. If this really were a morning, I would probably be late because I am talking when I should be out the door. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this quick get ready for work with me. Let me know in the comments. Again, is there anybody else that is crazy like me that has to be up at 2 a.m. for work? Or are you one of those that sleep in? Or do you make your own schedule? I am not mad at you. If so, do what you gotta do. I love that for you. But as always, in the description box below, there will be a complete list of all products used to achieve this look. Guys, be well, stay safe. Exercise self-care. It is not a privilege, but a necessity. Make sure to check on your strong friends after you check in with yourself. And until next time, we shall chat again soon.